Dear friends, welcome to another episode in the fascinating world of the military. In this video, we will talk about the Cobasna Ammunition Depot in Transnistria, seen by many as the largest in Europe, and which may explain Putin's strong interest in that separatist region of Moldova. In July 1992, after nearly 2 years of war, communist separatists from the Moldovan region of Transnistria, supported by 15,000 Russian soldiers from the 14th Guards Army, managed to drive out the small and poorly equipped Moldovan forces from the region. The separatists declared the foundation of the Moldavian Pridnestrovian Soviet Socialist Republic there, a nation not recognized by any other country but receiving support and protection from Russia, which has maintained thousands of soldiers in the region since 1992. The Russian interest in that area's strategic value isn't entirely clear, but it appears to lie in the small village of Cobasna, just 1.24 miles from the Ukrainian border, where the Russian military presence in Transnistria is based. An estimated force of 2,000 soldiers has the sole mission of guarding and securing Ammunition Depot number 1411, considered by many as the largest in all of Europe. This depot was established by Stalin on July 28, 1941, just over a year after annexing Bessarabia and northern Bukovina from Romania, as part of a pact signed in August 1939 between Hitler and Stalin, dividing Eastern Europe between them. For nearly 2 years, Hitler and Stalin were allies, but on June 22, 1941, Germany broke the alliance, launching an attack with nearly 4 million soldiers. Stalin hurried to reinforce his defenses, including the creation, in July 1941, of a massive ammunition depot in Kungur, a secure location thousands of kilometers away from the front lines. During the war, this depot supplied weapons and ammunition to millions of soldiers of the Red Army. After the war in Europe ended in July 1945, Stalin ordered everything to be transferred to the Odessa region in present-day Ukraine. In May 1949, in response to the founding of NATO, a massive alliance then encompassing 12 countries, Stalin ordered all that ammunition to be sent to new facilities in the village of Cobasna, then part of the Moldavian Soviet Socialist Republic. Stalin's goal with this move was to prepare for what he saw as an inevitable war against NATO, concentrating thousands of tons of weapons and ammunition in Cobasna for use in case of conflict. During the Cold War, Soviet leaders continued to fill that depot, reaching an incredible mark of over 20,000 tons by 1990, with defense responsibility falling on the 14th Guards Soviet Army. Thus, when communist extremists in Transnistria started their separatist war, that Russian army declared support, with Russian soldiers effectively going to war against Moldova in early 1992. Just after the collapse of the Soviet Union. With more soldiers and, above all, more weapons and ammunition than the newly created Moldovan army, rebels, thanks to Russia's support, managed to drive out Moldovan forces, with the 14th Russian Army establishing itself around the Cobasna Ammunition Depot. There are no official data on the amount of ammunition still present at the site, but various sources point to around 20,000 tons, equivalent to over 500,000 152mm artillery munitions, the standard caliber for heavy Russian howitzers. Just to give you an idea of what this number means, 500,000 152mm artillery projectiles correspond to what Russia spends in Ukraine in 5 months of intense combat. In other words, only in Transnistria, Putin has ammunition to continue fighting for another 5 months without worrying about buying abroad or producing locally. However, despite the facilities being under direct control of Russian forces, there is a major problem: how to get there. As it is, a region literally squeezed between Moldova, with a 100% pro-Western government, and Ukraine. The only way for Putin to ensure freer and more direct access would be through the annexation of Transnistria, a process similar to that done for the annexation of Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson in Ukraine in September 2023. With the annexation of that region, Putin would be able to mobilize a local army to be trained by the 14th Guards Army in Cobasna and armed with the thousands of tons of weapons and ammunition stored there. With this army being responsible for advancing on the important cities of Odessa and Mykolaiv, cities that Putin and Medvedev recently said would be annexed. And the first step toward this annexation may have been taken on Wednesday, February 28th, after the Transnistrian Congress requested protection from Russia against what it called Moldovan economic pressure. According to that Congress, Moldova, the rightful owner of those lands, would be suffocating Transnistria with the purpose of regaining control over the region. If Putin reacts favorably to this request for protection, and if this debate evolves into a formal request by Transnistria for annexation, Putin will have a clear path to use all that massive arsenal to open a new front of combat, precisely at a time when Ukraine is suffering from a severe and chronic lack of ammunition. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to not miss the next episodes. If you have any suggestions, criticism, or want to leave an idea for a new video topic, don't forget to comment. Until next time.